from Resident Evil 3. Now, I know we had started the series, but unfortunately the video got corrupted on YouTube somehow, so the rest of it isn't there. So I'm going to start over from the beginning here. I'm going to attempt to show you where all the files and the the toy uncle bobbleheads are. I was going to say Mr. Raccoon, but it's not Mr. Raccoon anymore. So let's get started. We're going to do a new game. We're going to do standard difficulty. Now I will have a few extra item slots in you because I've beaten it before and I bought the hip pouches, which I advise you buy first.
Authorities are bracing for more rioting tonight.
He was knocked unconscious.
A citywide emergency has been declared.
The CDC has quarantined the lower Midwestern region of the U.S.
Commitment, honesty, integrity, these are the core values that create the foundation for Umbrella. It's this foundation that will continue to build a brighter future for all of us.
They made Nemi. Resident Evil 3. I will let the cutscenes play. Alright, so this is the opening little sequence here. It's in black, it's like very faded. It's faded, not jaded. Alright, so as you can see, you can't see the time on the clock, which is peculiar. Now then, if we look here on the shelf, we've got her STARS badge there, a police car. There's her beret from the mansion incident. There's some Tylenol, or actually that's probably some sort of sleep medication, and some Tylenol, more than likely. Posters for I'm just going to shut this because the rain is loud. You don't have to shut it. Notice how the TV's all kind of messed up. There's this painting here. I think Jill might have painted that. It's you can see this from the catwalk once Nemesis starts chasing you. Here's her desk where she's been working. She has several copies of the same book, which is weird. Apparently she drinks beer. There's a nice little map of Raccoon City. After the dream sequence here, you examine this, and it gives you a couple of your files. There's something to read right here. There's something to read here when you get out. Let's go in here. Activate dream sequence. Surprise, it's your nightmare. Jill thinks because she's seen some of her friends turn into zombies in the first game, and she thinks because she survived it all and she's been bitten multiple times that she might turn into a zombie too. She's just not sure. Sorry about that. And she committed the sewer slide. Jill committed sewer slide. She unalived her undead self.
Gets worse.
There. How about that? Okay, so we have the calendar.
And I can kiss this town goodbye.
So she's got a plan to leave in 3 days by September 30th. So, and then she's got fingerprints from somebody. You can't really tell whom. If we approach this, you can click on the light. We get Jill's report. September 26, 1998. It's already been 2 months since that mess with Umbrella. Thanks to the suspension, investigations have progressed exactly as I hoped. Perhaps this written record of what I've found will prove to be my final duty as a STARS officer. I can only hope that it helps lead to the truth. The T-virus, those infected with this virus, seem to become literal zombies. It appears to be communicable via several different avenues outlined below. 1. Bite from an infected individual, allowing the mix of bodily fluids. Contact with crows, which have eaten infected carrion, which, dead bodies, infected flesh, cadavers, basically. And due to the strength of the virus, airborne infection cannot be discounted. It should be noted that those who survived the incident have not yet developed symptoms, so the other STARS members, so Chris and Barry and Rebecca and Jill, those are the only ones that have survived the mansion incident. Wesker's presumed dead, even though if you've played the games before, you know that's not exactly the case. And Billy Cohen survived the Resident Evil 0, but we don't know where he is. So, as far as Jill knows, everybody who was in the mansion and got in the helicopter with her is not infected. It's unclear whether it's because this virus has a long incubation period or because we just happen to be resistant to the infection. Okay. Now, when they all joined the STARS squad on the police force, they were given, injections and antibodies and things like that to help boost their immune system because they were cops and they'd be dealing with the public. What they didn't know is that Umbrella was the one that invented the inoculations, and the inoculations helped boost their bodily resistances to viral infection. Now, as for me, aside from any minor difficulty sleeping, I seem to be in fine shape. Still, I shouldn't get too hopeful. After all, this could just be an extended incubation period. Now then, there's this. This is the investigation notes. Umbrella, pharmaceuticals company, industrial leader in market share. Focuses on military weapons development while maintaining a cover as a pharmaceutical company. Also secretly developing bioweapons. T-virus outbreak at Arcali Mountain Research Facility predicated as the mansion incident. Predicated just means that's what they called it. Conspiring with Raccoon City leadership. Large donations into Mayor Warren's office. Umbrella effectively controls the city. That's what she's saying. I wish we could turn on some of her tunes. She's got a bunch of CDs here. You can't read the names on them, so we have no idea who the artist is. Unsealed envelope. They've got me pinned down at home. Guys across the street are watching me from their window 24/7. Are they Irons men? Now, if you don't know who Irons is, if you didn't play Resident Evil 2, Chief Irons is the chief of police. Because Jill was digging into Umbrella, Umbrella ordered Chief Irons to put her on suspension and to possibly have her taken out. Are they Umbrella's men? I don't know. And there's no real difference anyway. I know what they're trying to do. They want to wear me down, torment me into compliance, and it's working. I'm barely eating, barely sleeping. I'm going crazy. I feel like the living dead. Ha. She's being sarcastic. But I won't let them win. I have to get out of the city and find a way to make them accountable. They'll send someone to silence me, of course. If you hear that I've been killed, or whatever it is they do to people like me, you must pick up the investigation where I left off. I've enclosed many files. They'll tell you everything you need to know, as long as this package isn't intercepted. I'll be moving out at night, 5 days. Wish me luck. So Jill wrote this 2 days ago and is going to mail it, but she can't mail it because the city's got under quarantine. It's in chaos. Also, the book that this is on, in the original Resident Evil 3, this book right here is actually where you keep all of Jill's notes. There's a blue folder for Jill's notes, a yellow folder for like mixing instructions for ammo, herbs, different things like that, puzzle solutions, things like that. And then there's a red folder, and the red folder is all the dirt that she digs up throughout the city on Umbrella. Now then, we have the note conveniently sitting beside the pizza. Message from a colleague. To Jill Valentine. Hey, hotshot, how you holding up? I still can't believe Iron suspended you. It's such bullshit. Here to pin a medal on you for making you out of that hellhole back in July. Of course, you're going to poke around and ask questions about it. I hope you're not mad at me for keeping my head down. Everything's been happening so fast. Stars was the pride of the force. When the chief disbanded us out of nowhere, I thought for sure I was gonna lose my job. Word has it you're planning to leave Raccoon City. I figured you wouldn't take the suspension lying down. Just promise to watch your back. Umbrella won't sit by while you try to dismantle their business. Take care, Jill. Brad Vickers, Stars Alpha Team, now and forever. P.S. Had to slip this message to a pizza guy to avoid detection. Enjoy the extra large Mega Meat Supreme. It's on me and the guys. So, Brad making the comment here, I hope you're not mad at me for keeping my head down. That's a nod to what he did in the first game. In the first game, Brad's the Alpha Team's helicopter pilot. And when he sees the zombie dogs attacking Alpha Team and them running away to the mansion, he takes off in the helicopter. He burns off. And he does circle back around several times to pick them back up. But he takes off so that... See, in my theory, they call him Chicken Heart as his nickname because of what he did, right? But in my opinion, alright, he's the one guy that knows how to fly the helicopter. Now, granted, Chris Redfield was in the Air Force. He probably knows how to fly a helicopter. But Brad's the helicopter pilot. He's the expert helicopter pilot. And he knows the other Bravo team's helicopter crashed. And probably suspects the pack of dogs had something to do with it. So he leaves so that his helicopter doesn't get overrun and, you know, they lose their way out. Now then, and let there be light. Now, as you can see, Jill's not a zombie. It was a nightmare. She is checking herself over, though. She does have a lot of antibiotics and, like, some sleeping pills, Tylenol. So she took every precaution, everything she could to make sure she don't get messed up by the T-virus. Now then, we can also look in her fridge. Obviously, Jill is a drinker. She's got some kind of orange soda, like Sunkist or something.
Right.
Those might be wine bottles on the bottom shelf. No, it looks more like soda bottles. Looks like she's got some kind of purple soda and some kind of orange soda. And then she's got
Just a sec.
bakery bread. So I'm guessing, you know, like frozen hamburger buns or something. Of course, they're not in the freezer, so jug of milk. She's got 2 6-packs of beer.
Or you
Then
can
she's
go
got
back.
2 loose beers, 2 more loose beers. There's a bottle of wine, a bottle of Mountain Dew, some strawberry jam, and then she's got like some medication up there in the little butter rack. So Jill is definitely, she definitely has the medication to take care of herself after the whole mansion incident, and that's some kind of spray-on stuff. That's probably Pam or something, you know. All right, so that's all the files in Jill's apartment. Now we are about to. Now things are about to get nasty.
Hello?
Jill, are you
Greetings.
Dad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of
How are
What are
you?
you talking about?
I
Go
don't
away.
have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my.
Hi, big friend. Being sarcastic. I mean, the way Nemesis looks in this one, I don't like the whole trash bag armor thing he's got going for him. I miss the like big leather trench coat that he had going on in the original version. He does have that cool thing on his heart though, because in the original Resident Evil 3 his heart was exposed and that was his weak spot, like all Tyrants. But he's got that encasement on his heart, protecting it. Go Jill, go Jill. So, we gotta get out the apartment building. Alright. We're going this way. Now remember that painting in Jill's apartment? I think it's from this direction, because there's a clothesline somewhere. Okay, these guys are gonna fall to their doom. Also, you see that sign that says Sigourney? That's a nod to the Aliens movies and Sigourney Weaver, who's the star of the Aliens movies. I'm gonna jump in here. Here's the creep. Okay, why you gotta look for Matt when I say here's the creep? And of course, you know, Japanese people, there's a tentacle monster. Just kidding. But it is a common theme in Japanese animated pornography, or hentai. Huh? Oh, is the door locked? Ah, okay. This big douche right here. Okay, so you gain control of Jill again. You have to do this hop along run. Run! Run! Okay, you got stopped by the rafters. And then the gas main explodes and collapses the hallway, luckily. We get a little bit of reprieve from Nemesis.
Jill? Over here! You okay?
What was that thing?
Damned if I know. But right now it's got a heart.
I like how Brad in this one, he looks like Frank from Dead Rising, except, you know, not as cool and not as old. And then they've got a few movie posters up there. They've got Disaster Movie. And then they've got, what does that say?
Hey, wait! Down here!
Mars Carlisle off duty. Then Bad Luck Game. And then there's a third movie poster up there called Air Combat 1942. Okay, that is a reference. That's a reference to two things. There is a Capcom video game called 1942, and yeah, Air Combat 1942. But the post, yeah. So they have two separate games, and Tom Cruise is on there, so it's also a reference to Top Gun. Now, if we examine this, we can see Umbrella drop something in the city. Yeah, yeah, it's a B-2 bomber instead of a jet. And then there's some movie posters later on, and we get references to Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Aliens. Did not know zombies were smart enough to climb fences, but apparently these zombies are pretty smart. I just like how gruesome the zombies look. And if they remake the one where you're in the mansion and make it where you're like over the shoulder, that's gonna be creepy. Alright, now see, this is where the original Resident Evil 3 and this one differ from one another. In the original Resident Evil 3, they put a chair up underneath the door, and her and Brad escape. And they get ambushed at the RPD, and Nemesis infects Brad and kills him. So we've got a knife now. TF. Or it could be a reference, because it's the exact style of graffiti, it could be a reference to the Silent Hill PT game that was supposed to come out. Now the game wants us to kill this guy, but we can just take off. Crawl up underneath here. Okay. That guy's gonna crawl out of there. We're gonna cut through this alley. Parking garage roof. Alright.
Sir, are you alright?
Stay back! Don't come any closer!
Now here's where we meet Dario Rosso.
Take you to safety.
They changed the factory a little bit, and you don't get to explore around in here like you used to.
The only safe place is in here!
Yeah. They cut out a bunch of good stuff, though.
Sir, what's your name? I can't just leave you behind.
Like, they cut out the whole sequence where you go inside the clock tower.
Yeah, right. You
Yeah.
just want to steal my safe house. Get your own, Missy.
So, you get there's a challenge in the game to talk to him and exhaust his dialogue. And because he's Italian, they named the challenge Forget About It.
You want to help? Go handcuff yourself to one of those freaks.
Sir, this is your last chance. No one else is.
So you gotta talk to him until he
I'm
doesn't
not
say
going
anything.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd rather starve to death than here to be eaten by one of those undead monsters. Now leave me alone.
Okay, so we can't talk to him anymore. Now, if you want in your playthrough, you can shoot the container that he's in the back of the truck, and he'll say something about how Jill's crazy and all this other stuff. Alright, so there are no files here. There's just that handgun ammo. But there's not any files for quite a while. This is all pretty much cool opening cinematic sequences. Like, it's like, oh, I'm so dangerously close to these zombies. Alright. Now, there's nothing we can do right here. This guy's pretty harmless. He's trapped in his little bulletproof, box. These guys are not so harmless. So... you can do that and pop him in the head a couple of times, and you're good to go to the elevator. I shouldn't have reloaded that. Oh well. You squeeze in. It's because I'm gonna switch to a different gun. Alright. So, in the original Resident Evil 3, in order to get this helicopter to come here, you have to ring the bell in the clock tower in the police station. And then pretty much the same thing happens. The helicopter blew up and I got blown into the General Lee. What were the Duke boys doing in Raccoon City?
Sorry.
I guess we'll never know. Alright. Yeah. It is burnt orange, though. That's where the reference come in. Because it is the correct color.
It's my turn, bitch.
And then you hold down R2 and you ram the big fucker. Just hold R2 down. She will burn rubber and it will slowly push him off the roof. I mean, Jill too. And I don't recall her putting her seatbelt on, so she would have probably died. But then again, the car did land on him and then flip, so maybe. So now he's built up an immunity to blunt force trauma. Because that's how Nemesis works. Anything you hit him with in the game, he builds a resistance to. Well, in the original. Now he's fugly. The bag burned off on his face. That's why it had a bag on it, because he's fugly. You got to admit, for a big dude, he's got some good reflexes to catch a missile with a tentacle. Them some reflexes right there.
Easy, lady. I got you.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Name's Carlos, and I'm saving you. Come on. Let's get you someplace safe. Carlos back.
Do what?
Carlos back.
In this game, Carlos is pretty cool. I don't like the. I didn't like the character remodel, so I gave him his original hair.
Here, where?
My guys have converted some subway cars into a shelter.
Because in this one, he's like,
It's safe.
he's got a, he's mixed raced or something, and he's got like this afro and.
Okay, I get it. Let's go.
All right. So for those of you watching, what I would do is keep your combat knife because it comes in handy early on to stab
Hey,
the
what do you know
Uncle
about
Charlie's.
Monster?
There is an Uncle Charlie doll right here when you first play the game between the two newsstands. There's nothing else out here, so don't bother checking.
Supposed to say it in a much more suspicious way. You say that.
What?
That's here. You know what I mean?
Now,
That way they go ahead and look anyway.
now, see, this movie poster, I have a suspicion, is supposed to be an Aliens reference. But it's called, I mean, it's even got, look, yes, this one is definitely Aliens, though, because look, it's got the weird shining thing from the Aliens poster that the egg's in front of. So this one's clearly an Aliens reference, but it's also a Cthulhu reference, because it's a Hello Squid. Or Hell Squid Zero is what it's called. The movie's called, or it could be 10. The shining thing could be a 1, and then this one's called Tyrant of the Deep, which I'm guessing is probably a reference to the movie Abyss, except it's an actual creature that looks like Godzilla. So it's probably a reference, a cross between Godzilla and Abyss.
But you know, they kind of look like an alien from Aliens whenever their mouth comes out.
And then they've got. It could be. Could be, yeah, it does look like the film poster from Tremors except in water. This is, Big Red, what was the movie where there were Big Red 1 in World War II? I forgot the name of it. Oh, Band of Brothers. The TV show Band of Brothers is what this is a reference to. This movie poster is actually a reference either to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or to the movie Critters. They're these little furry ball things from space that roll around and attack people. It's probably a combination of the two. And see, this is totally Top Gun, just set in World War II. And that's Ferris Bueller's Day Off, yeah. Except it's Mars Carlisle's off duty. And, yeah. Oh, and the funny part is, the guy in the background is dressed like Captain Commando, which is a Capcom game. Also, you could also say he might be Johnny Cage as a Mortal Kombat reference.
The film poster
is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but with Captain Commando, and then he kind of looks like Johnny Cage is playing Captain Commando.
Nothing. I've never seen anything like it.
I agree with all that.
But it's no zombie. It knows what it wants and won't stop till it gets it.
Well,
don't you like that in a man?
Another one
No
is
thanks.
Blue
He's all
Sea,
yours.
but,
oh, yeah.
inverted.
Yeah. Because Deep Blue Sea is the shark coming up, except this was set like, this is like in 92. I don't think Deep Blue Sea had come out yet.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Or no, this is 98. This is 98.
What are you talking about?
That's right, because didn't...
Those posters would not have been
You don't have to trust me, but I'm going to the show.
Well, yeah, but this is the, you know, they weren't in the original. I think in the original... Dino Bites? This is a reference to the Capcom game Bubble Bobble? No. And look, we have a poster here with Albert Einstein, but next to Albert Einstein is Dr. Light from Mega Man. And then this is for a restaurant in the city. This, more than likely, is a reference to... What? Oh, Albert Einstein and Dr. Light? Maybe. Yeah, this is more than likely making a reference to, well, It the Clown, but also there's a creepy clown psychopath in Dead Rising. And I
can tell you the film reference.
Then there's Skull Stalker right here, and this is definitely Terminator.
Yeah.
Definitely Terminator. Skull Stalker, Adrift in Space.
Yeah, but it's the Abyss. The film says
the poster is supposed to be Abyss, but it's space instead of underwater. And then this is Hell Squid and Tyrant of the Deep again. And then we get Astro Crunch and then Cinema Freak. Big E. I guarantee you this is probably Big Trouble in Little China. You don't think so? Oh, it's a band.